This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm counting down the top 10 Adidas sneakers of 2017. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler if you haven't yet. But with all that being said, let's get into it. So today, guys, we're continuing the top 10 series. We started with the top 10 Nike sneakers to drop of 2017. Of course, you knew I had to do an Adidas version to balance things out, so that's what we're doing today. As with all my top 10 lists, these lists are all my opinions, and in this particular list, this is more of the top 10 most influential Adidas sneakers to drop this year, and not so much my top 10 favorite. These are silhouettes that became the mainstays of 2017 or really changed the landscape for footwear moving forward. So without wasting any more time, let's start off the list at number 10 with the NMD CS2. For those of you that don't know, the CS2 is the City Sock 2. It's the second iteration of the original Adidas NMD City Sock. Just like the original, it has no laces and is essentially just a slip-on. One of the more popular CS2s to drop was the Kith and Naked collaboration on the sneaker. You could say that those two colorways popularized the CS2 and were part of the reason that honestly the CS2 overshadowed the R2 this year. I mean, I can't really think of one R2 colorway that I liked better than a CS2 colorway. Although the NMD silhouette has lost a little bit of its hype over the last couple months, it's still a really great sneaker, and the CS2 is definitely worth checking out. Coming in at number 9 is the Crazy Explosive 2017. The Crazy Explosive 2016 was one of the best basketball shoes, if not the best basketball sneaker of last year, so of course Adidas had some big shoes to fill when they created the 2017 version. The upper became far more sock-like, and there are a couple aesthetic changes, but overall the performance of the sneaker didn't really change. It's still one of my favorite performance basketball shoes because of the excellent boost ride and the overall comfort of the Prime Knit, but honestly, just like Adidas' basketball line this year, it was more of the same, which don't get me wrong, it was still excellent, but it wasn't really exciting. Coming in at number 8, it's the Parley and Adidas Ultra Boost 3.0. This is the second year that Adidas has worked with Parley on using ocean plastics to create some of their sneakers. It's a great way of recycling dangerous ocean plastics, and it's a really cool concept. Last year, the collaboration only released 2 sneakers. One was an extremely limited shoe that really no one could get, and the other one was a white uncaged Ultra Boost. This year, Adidas expanded the line with a couple more silhouettes, the best of which being the Ultra Boost 3.0. In my opinion, out of the two, I think the blue one's the best. Adidas says in each one of their men's size sneakers they use 10 bottles worth of ocean plastics in each pair. I think it's really cool that a big company like Adidas is working with Parley on a really noble cause. Coming in at number 7, it's by far the most controversial shoe on the list, the Yeezy Boost 700. The shoe that Sneaker News has confirmed to be the most limited Yeezy with boost cushioning is also one of the most controversial. Kanye and Adidas really tried something different this year by taking inspiration from 90s sneakers. The shoe is characterized by an oversized, bulky look with crazy colors utilized throughout. It was the first new Yeezy silhouette since the Yeezy Boost 350 V2, and it took a lot of people by surprise. I personally really like the sneaker, and I always have, but it's one of those shoes that people just can't seem to wrap their head around. One thing you can't deny, though, is that it's starting to revive the old 90s dad shoe aesthetic, and it's coming back in force. Coming in at number 6 is the Adidas Pharrell MD Trail. Pharrell finally brought back the human race NMDs that we loved so much from last year, except this time around he added a trail outsole. The outsole definitely added a lot of weight to the sneaker, but it didn't seem to dissuade people from wanting to buy it because the shoe sold out in record time. In addition to the new trail outsole, Adidas and Pharrell decided to go a little bit crazier with their coloring on the sneaker. Last year, each shoe was primarily one color with black and white accenting. This time around, it's just a whole bunch of colors. Some work really well and some don't. Again, this is all my opinion, but I don't love some of those colorways. In addition to the limited but not unattainable colorways, there was also a couple versions that were almost impossible to grab. The first was a Billionaire Boys Club exclusive, which is really hard to get, and I've only seen 1 or 2 in person. The shoe featured a pretty muted blue and gray upper, and then of course you had the NERD Complex Con exclusive, and then rounding off the year you had the most exclusive collab of the bunch, which retailed for about $1,000, the Chanel Pharrell Human Race NMD. This was a collab that I don't think a lot of people were expecting, but when it released, it was insanely popular. As I mentioned, retail was crazy, and as you can expect, resale is through the roof. Coming in at number 5, it's the Ultra Boost 4.0. Every year, Adidas comes out with a slightly upgraded version of the Ultra Boost, and the 4.0 is no different. However, I will say though that the 4.0 seems to be the best refinement of the sneaker so far. The opaque solid color cages are back, and the Prime Knit is reminiscent of the 1.0 knit pattern while still being an updated version of the 3.0. My one small gripe with the sneaker is that so far all the colorways that I've seen have been kind of boring. But regardless, the Ultra Boost has been one of my favorite silhouettes for the last couple years, and I'll most likely pick up a bunch of pairs that I don't need. Coming in at number 4 is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2. Although this silhouette debuted last year, it's still one of the most dominant and most hyped sneakers of 2017. We got a whole bunch of different colorways, some excellent, some kind of boring, and some just total trash. At least in my opinion, you guys know exactly which ones I'm talking about. Although the sneaker was insanely popular, it seems like Adidas made a couple small changes throughout the year, most notably the addition of a pull tab on the heel of the shoe and also the weird changing in sizing throughout the year. It really seems like Adidas used a new last every time they produced a sneaker, so the sizing on each colorway was just ever so slightly different, or in some cases drastically different. But hey, it is what it is. It's a Yeezy, it's gonna sell out, so what's the point? Narrowing things down at number 3, it's the Adidas Ultra Boost Mid. Although the Ultra Boost Mid was first released last year in the Kith iteration, this year it seems to have hit its stride with a lot of great different colorways. You had collaboration versions of the shoe, you had ATR outdoor versions of the shoe, you couldn't really go wrong. And something that kind of surprised me is that even though the Ultra Boost Mid seemed to be more of a winter and fall sneaker, they still released it all year round and it's still pretty much sold out, so you can tell the demand was crazy. Coming in at number 2 is a new silhouette, the Adidas EQT 9317. Adidas decided to revive the EQT line by adding Boost, and man, they added a lot of it. The EQT 9317 is one of the most boost-filled sneakers on the market, and for a lot of people, it's the most comfortable shoe they've ever worn. I don't totally agree with that. I still think the Ultra Boost is the most comfortable, but hey, that's just me. The shoe released in black and pink, which is the inverse of how the shoe released back in '93 as the EQT Guidance. And this time around, in addition to Boost, they also added a prime knit upper. In addition to being a great-looking and comfortable silhouette, there was also a bunch of collaborations that really pushed the silhouette into the spotlight. A lot of you might remember the White Mountaineering and Bait collaborations, which were some of the most popular. And finally, coming in at number 1, it's the Adidas Futurecraft 4D. As I've mentioned a lot in the past, I'm an industrial designer, so I work with 3D printing a lot, and that's why this shoe has been so interesting for me. The whole idea behind the sneaker is to create a one-to-one personalized fit, which can only be realized through 3D printing. Adidas scans your foot in store, and then in a matter of hours, they 3D print you out a customized midsole just for you. The 4D is an upgrade over last year's Futurecraft 3D because it seems to be more of a cushioned and more comfortable ride. Because 3D printing each midsole takes such a long time, the shoe is going to be extremely limited, so if you're able to grab a pair, count yourself lucky. Even though the 4D is extremely limited, it still provides an excellent groundwork for 3D printing and customizable shoes in the future. That pretty much wraps it up for the list today, guys. Make sure to leave your top 5 or top 10 or whichever sneakers you agreed with or didn't agree with in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me, Seth Fowler, if you want to see more content just like this, and follow me on all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.